today's internet climate, there are more and more imposters among us, showing up at higher frequencies than ever. They control our internet space, hide amongst us, and nobody seems to bat an eye at them. These undercover entities are everywhere, making YouTube videos, lurking in comment sections, prying in business chat rooms, and hiding in plain sight modeling on Instagram. They are so confident in their little disguise that they'll even message you outright on Tinder, arranging dates and matching with real people. I bet even some of you in the comments aren't even real viewers, just imposters blending in with the masses, sitting, watching, and learning. At first, these bugs weren't as clever or conniving, starting off as poor imitations of presidents and famous people, meant to be laughed at and mocked. I mean, videos and broken audio of such poor quality that it wouldn't even take a second glance to notice the inconsistencies.
You just in time! I was about to explain about Dragon Ass. What the f***, donkey?
This was fun at first, but as we took our eyes off these silly videos because our weak dopamine-suffocating brains need constant stimulation elsewhere, we stopped paying attention. But they never stopped. They kept working, learning more and more about us until eventually, those silly little videos became all the more real. Artificial intelligence is exactly what it sounds like. A program designed to take in information and store it for later until it reaches opposing information, which contradicts what it's already learned and makes its initial impression battle with all the new info. Until eventually, it finds enough consistencies into one element to update its initial impression and maintain a more well-rounded piece of information as a whole. I know this sounds like a lot, but I'll break it down for you. In order to show you how superior AI learning is to our goldfish squishy brains, let me give you an example. If I were to place an AI and the world's fastest reader in a library and gave them the simple task of reading 1,000 books, all written on the same subject, and form a well-educated synopsis of said subject, on the low end, the average book would have about 70,000 words. That means there are about 70 million words that need to be read in order to complete the said task. The world's fastest reader is said to be capable of reading 25,000 words per minute without comprehending everything they're reading, giving us humans a handicap and assuming it's possible for someone to read and comprehend text at that rate. It would take the world's fastest reader 46 hours to complete the 1,000 books, assuming that they were able to ignore all basic human functions and maintain that level of concentration with no lapse in speed. On the other hand, AI has none of these problems and can read and comprehend all the literature in less than 2 minutes. All the while, every sentence it reads, it searches the internet for thousands of instances about the topic and stores the most consistent answer in its memory, repeating this same process for every sentence for every page for all 1,000 books. This method of AI learning plays a pivotal role in the creation and refinement of deep fakes, mashing together these consistencies it constantly searches for to generate realistic and convincing content, such as manipulated videos or images based on what's asked of it. AI models have learned how to mimic human facial expressions, gestures, and voice patterns, learning as much as it can about us in order to gain our trust and blend in amongst the sea of millions. This capability allows malicious actors to exploit AI technology to create deceptive content, blurring the lines between what's real and what's fake. The evolving sophistication of AI learning contributes to the constant improvement of deepfake quality, allowing others to misuse this technology for malicious purposes by spreading misinformation and stealing our identities. But the use of AI doesn't just stop there. It can also be used to create entirely new identities of new people in order to appeal to a larger audience. Popular examples of this image on social media in which AI will create a likeness of a woman. For example, meet Aki. At first glance, her account seems to be that of a normal influencer, a fairly attractive Asian woman who loves to cosplay. But her entire personality and likeness aren't real. simply just a concept made up of AI-generated images and posts. While that concept might seem strange, Aki is one of the many millions of accounts managed by real people who are AI concepts. Some of these account managers make thousands of dollars every day from using their amassed following to push advertisements for certain companies, or by taking it one step further and making AI-generated adult content locked behind a paywall, creating tens and thousands of dollars of sustainable income. Many believe just influencers and famous people who are affected by this AI, but unfortunately, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Even your doctor could have graduated from medical school by using the assurance of AI. In fact, 43% of all college students have used ChatGPT or similar AI tools in order to aid themselves in completing assignments. Some students go as far as writing 40-page research papers without so much as typing their name onto the document. Using AI programs to cheat in school has detrimental effects on students and their educational development. Relying on shortcuts hinders the learning process, preventing them from actually learning essential skills and knowledge known commonly throughout their field. It defeats the entire purpose of education, which is to foster critical thinking and independent problem solving. Basically, AI has no limits as far as the tasks it can perform online, using its sophisticated learning algorithm to conquer even the hardest problems. For example, all my punctuation on the script I'm reading was made by ChatGPT. Even a sentence or two provided by AI has been used to create this video, and there is zero arguing that AI is an extremely helpful tool in any office environment. You might be wondering how we can spot these subtle differences between what's made by AI and what's actually spent hours of work by real people like you and me. The secret is, you really can't. Some companies and websites that claim to have AI detection constantly send back false flags on genuine work, meaning that work made by a person and AI are almost indistinguishable from one another. Many people fear AI because of some past implied implications of creating a machine capable of learning at such rapid succession out of fear of discovering some of life's most frequently asked questions. For example, is there life after death? The reason this is such a big deal to some is that learning isn't a linear process, so conclusions it would take someone a lifetime to reach, AI could find in a matter of minutes. Sure, the rise of intelligence when someone is born may look linear as they learn to walk and talk, but really knowledge is exponentially growing over someone's life as subjects that are seemingly simple branch out into thousands of subcategories, creating a massive growing tree of knowledge, growing further and further every day. In my opinion, I don't think AI will discover all the world's secrets, or something to fear really, and even though it has tons of ways to misuse it, it will remain a pivotal tool in academics and discovery. Which brings me to my last point. I don't fear AI and its ability to learn and mimic, and I don't fear its well thought out answers to advanced topics and discussions, but I'm afraid that one day the difference between man and machine will be nearly unrecognizable.